Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. Look, let's just jump right in, because honestly, we are standing right on the edge of a massive disruption. If you're in digital marketing, or if you run any business that relies on being found online, the ground beneath you is literally shifting right now. Large language models and AI search are completely rewriting the rules of how we discover information, products, and brands. So today, we're demystifying exactly how this works, and we're going to give you the blueprint for answer engine optimization.
To really get why this matters so much, you have to look at this staggering number, 58%. As of late 2025, just the presence of an AI overview on Google reduces the organic click-through rate for the #1 ranking page by 58%. Think about that for a second. For every 100 clicks you used to get by holding that coveted top spot, Google is now keeping 58 of them to just answer the user's question directly. If you're still relying entirely on traditional SEO, well, your traffic is probably shrinking as we speak.
Okay, wait, before you hit the panic button, let's look at the flip side, because this brilliantly illustrates the massive upside of this whole shift. AI search traffic actually converts at a staggering 23 times higher rate than traditional organic search. No way, right? But it's true. When someone uses an AI assistant to find a product and that AI recommends you, the user trusts it. It's highly qualified, deeply intent-driven traffic. Search isn't just about clicks anymore, it's about being that trusted recommendation.
So let's get into Section 1, the search engine shift, myth versus reality.
Look, there is a ton of industry anxiety out there right now, but we really need to watch out for something called zero-sum bias. Basically, this is the psychological trap where we assume that if a new technology goes up, the old one just absolutely has to go down. We saw this exact same panic back in 2010. Everyone assumed mobile apps would completely kill the web browser. I mean, did apps explode? Absolutely. But did the web die? Not at all. It grew right alongside them, and AI search is following that exact same story.
Let's anchor ourselves in reality here. Traditional search engines, specifically Google Search, still command the vast majority of the market share at around 81%. AI search, despite all the flashy headlines and massive adoption rates, is sitting at a little over 3%. So, the web isn't just vanishing overnight. To put that into perspective for your business, traditional Google search still drives literally 41 times more traffic and 33 times more revenue than ChatGPT. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is do not abandon your traditional SEO foundation. The smart move isn't to panic, it's to play both games at the exact same time.
Which brings us to Section 2, inside large language models.
To actually win this new game, we kind of need to demystify how these tools work under the hood. AI search doesn't think the way you or I do. Instead, these models ingest trillions of words, from Wikipedia, news sites, Reddit threads, books, YouTube transcripts, the whole shebang, and they essentially cram it all into one massive text file. Then they use immense computing power to spot statistical patterns. At the end of the day, it all boils down to predicting the next word. Like, if I give the AI the sentence, "The boy went to the..." The AI does the math to figure out the most probable next word based on all that massive training data. It knows playground, school, or park are highly likely. Now let's apply this to your business. If a user types, "the best brand for electric mountain bikes is," the AI calculates the brand that mathematically appears most frequently with positive sentiment in its data. And that is exactly how you get recommended. Moving on to Section 3, SEO versus AEO. Understanding that predictive math brings us to a really massive paradigm shift. Traditional SEO is all about competing for position on a list of blue links, right? You want the user to click your link and land on your site. But AEO completely removes the list. Instead, you're competing for a mention. The AI reads dozens of sources, synthesizes them, and just decides who to cite directly to the user. When you compare the two side by side, the metrics completely shift. In SEO, you're researching keywords. In AEO, you're researching prompts. In SEO, you build backlinks to boost your domain authority. But in AEO, you build brand mentions to increase repetition in the AI's training data. And for tracking, SEO relies heavily on organic search traffic, while AEO relies heavily on post-purchase surveys. Literally just asking your customers, "Hey, how did you hear about us?" Because honestly, AEO doesn't always show up neatly in your web analytics. But keep in mind, AEO doesn't replace your strategy, it builds directly on top of a healthy SEO foundation.
All right, let's get practical. Section 4, winning the AO game.
So how do we actually pull this off? Well, here's your highly actionable blueprint for adapting your digital presence so these LLMs start recommending you. There are three main pillars to execute a successful AI search campaign. First up, prompt research. You've got to figure out what users are actually asking these AI assistants. Second, content creation, structuring your website data so the AI can easily digest it. And third, brand mentions, getting the internet to actually talk about you. Let's look a little closer at content creation.
When it comes to content creation, we have specific tactics proven to work. For example, a Princeton study showed that simply including credible quotes from experts gets your page cited 30% more often. You want to write simply and directly, kind of like a Wikipedia entry. Plus, data shows AI mostly pulls citations from the first 10 to 20% of an article, so whatever you do, do not bury your key statistics. Finally, structure your pages with FAQs. Throwing an FAQ section below a product grid perfectly aligns with the question and answer format these models are built on.
But here's the catch. Content on your own site just isn't enough. Currently, the #1 most cited domain by AI search engines is Reddit. Yeah, the front page of the internet is officially training the AI. Securing positive brand mentions on high-authority platforms like Reddit, PR Newswire, YouTube transcripts, third-party product roundups, that is the highest correlated ranking factor for AI recommendations. Links don't even really matter here. It's purely about the text mention of your brand name in a positive context.
Now for Section 5, automating your SEO strategy.
Doing all of this manually takes a ridiculous amount of time, but you can scale these efforts dramatically with tools like Claude Cowork. Now, this isn't just another chatbot, it's a full-on AI agent capable of autonomously navigating the web. By giving it a highly detailed prompt about your business, effectively building a customized brain for it, you turn the AI into your own in-house SEO specialist. It can literally shave days off your workflow.
You can assign these agents incredibly complex multi-step tasks. They can log right into your SEO software to perform keyword gap audits, find out what your competitors are ranking for, and just hand you a spreadsheet sorted by opportunity. They can navigate Google Maps to audit competitor categories for your Google business profile. They can extract backlinks and even run synthetic lab tests on your core web vitals to get you instant feedback on page speed. It does all the tedious research so you can actually focus on strategy.
So, does this blueprint actually work in the real world? Absolutely. By implementing this exact mix of prompt tracking, FAQ optimization, PR mentions, and Reddit engagement, one e-commerce brand saw their AI referral revenue 10x in just 4 months. They jumped from 0.5% of their total revenue coming from AI search all the way to 5%. They basically went from being invisible to the AI to being recommended over 20% of the time for their target prompts.
Which brings us to the ultimate question you have to ask yourself right now. As these AI models continue to scrape, synthesize, and summarize the internet to deliver direct answers to your potential customers, will your brand be the trusted source they cite, or will you be silenced? The landscape is definitely shifting, but with the right blueprint, you can make sure your brand is the one the AI recommends. Thanks